What's up guys, it's Chris Majestic, and with CES this week, I wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on some cool tech that was featured at CES 2021. So with CES being virtual this year, I have to say that I was skeptical about how they would make it interesting, since in my opinion, the whole point of CES is to experience all the cool technology in person. Well, even though it was quite different and several big brands were missing, it was nice for them to continue with the event and give new and existing tech companies a place to showcase their new tech. So as you know, this channel focuses mostly on home theater and smart home products, so that's mostly what I'll be talking about in this video, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So originally unveiled at CES back in 2018, the wall from Samsung wowed us as a huge modular micro LED display. Well, Samsung introduced a new consumer version known as the micro LED 110-inch, which will be released in March 2021. It's a bezel-less modular display that can be pieced together to pretty much any shape or size you want. Now, honestly, when I saw this back in 2018, I immediately thought that this was the future of not only home theaters, but even possibly commercial movie theaters. Even though Samsung hasn't released any official pricing on the micro LED TV, it's speculated to be priced well over $100,000, putting it out of reach of pretty much everybody. Now, to be fair, I didn't expect it to be priced any less than $50,000, but if the price can be lowered drastically, this would completely disrupt and change the projection industry. And speaking of projectors, wouldn't you guess it, the Samsung Premier got some shine at CES too. So if you don't know, the Premier is Samsung's new 4K ultra short throw laser projector, which are commonly referred to as laser TVs nowadays. So it's a 4K triple laser projector that produces a 130-inch screen with 2800 lumens and great color accuracy, completely covering BT 2020 and up to 147% coverage of DCI-P3, which is really impressive. This is easily the most excited I've been about a projector, and as I've been saying for well over a month now, I'm still waiting to get my hands on this, and after reaching out to Samsung again, they reassured me that they're still working on getting it out to me. Samsung also unveiled a few personal robots like the new JetBot 90 AI Plus robot vacuum that uses AI to detect obstacles as well as debris, and even has a camera you can tap into to see what's going on. Samsung claims the JetBot will be available within the first half of this year. And LG had a big focus on gaming this year, especially considering how popular their OLED TVs have been with the Xbox and PS5, with features like NVIDIA G-Sync and variable refresh rates. One of LG's biggest announcements was their new second generation OLED technology known as OLED Evo. They'll be including this new technology in their G1 models, which will be available in sizes up to 83 inches and will be brighter with better color accuracy and even a lower profile, giving it a nice appearance on the wall. And if your pockets aren't deep enough for the G1, LG also announced their new QNED LCD TVs, which uses thousands of mini LEDs for better localized dimming, better contrast, better black levels, and better color accuracy. The QNED TVs will be available in 8K and sizes up to 86 inches. I've always found LG's LCD TVs to be pretty lackluster, so I'd be interested to see how these will look. LG also upgraded the Magic Remote this year, giving it a few new features. This is going to include things like NFC, which allows you to easily tap your phone against it to cast your phone screen to the TV, or even reverse mirror your TV screen to your phone, as well as a few other new features. And beyond TVs, LG also unveiled their new wearable air purifier called the PuriCare, as well as some other cool UV robots that can be used to sanitize public spaces. And the LG Rollable also made an appearance at CES this year. So if you haven't seen this, it's a new phone that uses a rollable display to give you an expanding screen. This is probably one of the coolest uses for a rollable display that I've seen so far, and I'll be curious to see this in person when it's released later this year. And of course, with the huge success of the PS5, Sony was sure to showcase the capabilities of their new console. And even though Sony did mention a few new TV updates, I was kind of surprised that they didn't seem to have any major updates to their TVs. And Sony did unveil a new product, which is a new drone known as the AirPeak. So if you're anything like me and love your Sony Alpha cameras, this is going to be a great addition if you want to get some aerial shots. And you might remember the Vision S, which was unveiled last year. Well, Sony took this opportunity to show the Vision S driving on a public road, which is pretty interesting. And TCL also had a few new announcements with a big focus on larger TVs. So TCL will be releasing what they call their XL collection, which includes 85-inch versions of their popular models, with the new 85-inch 4 Series being the first available in a couple of months for $1,600. TCL also had a big focus on mini LED technology, with even more LEDs for better contrast and clarity on their mid-range and high-end TVs, and they also announced that the new TCL 6 Series TV will come in 8K resolution later this year. And like LG, TCL also unveiled their own rollable phone with a 6.7-inch AMOLED rollable display, and they even showed a concept for a new 17-inch script scrolling display, which is a pretty interesting concept. And Hisense unveiled their new 100L9 Pro limited edition laser projector, which looks pretty interesting. So this is a 4K ultra short throw laser projector that has a screen on the front and pop-up speakers. Now, although I haven't reviewed any on the channel yet, Hisense is one of the first manufacturers to sell ultra short throw laser projectors. They already have a few projectors already on the market, but the 100L9 Pro is a trichroma laser projector that has a 3 laser DLP system that will cover up to 107% of BT 2020 and 151% of DCI-P3, which will be pretty cool to see in person. I have to say it's good to see so many brands embrace laser projectors, and I'll definitely be reaching out to Hisense to see if I can get my hands on this so I can give you guys my thoughts on it. Alright, so moving on to Wi-Fi, and of course the networking manufacturers this year were all about Wi-Fi 6E, which is not to be confused with Wi-Fi 6. So if you're not familiar with Wi-Fi 6E, it utilizes a 6 GHz band, getting us off the crowded 2.4 and 5 GHz bands that we've currently been using. And this will give us more 160 MHz channels, resulting in higher bandwidth that can handle more traffic. Now I'm curious to see how well it handles longer distances, since usually more bandwidth equals less coverage. Either way, we can expect to see some Wi-Fi 6E products later this year, like the TP-Link Deco X96, the Netgear Nighthawk RAXE 500, and a few others. And when it comes to vehicle technology, GM unveiled a concept for an autonomous personal air travel drone, aka a flying car, known as the GM Vertile. So the Vertile is GM's first attempt at a flying car, and it's fully electric and able to seat up to 1 passenger, even though they did mention a 2-passenger version. This thing looks pretty cool, even though I'd guess we're probably at least a decade away from seeing anything like this out in the wild anytime soon. And a piece of tech that wowed the automotive fans at CES this year is the new MBUX Advanced OLED touchscreen display from Mercedes-Benz. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen a huge dashboard display in a vehicle, but this might just be the most advanced. It's got an 8-core CPU, 24 GB of RAM, AI features, and even haptic feedback. This thing looks pretty awesome, and it's definitely something I could get used to seeing in newer cars. Alright guys, I know that was a lot, but that's gonna do it for my coverage of the all-virtual CES 2021. Even though I had to experience it from home, it was nice to see that even through a global pandemic, there are tons of manufacturers out there working hard to bring us new technology. I can only hope that things will be back to normal by CES 2022, but until then, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.